So a while ago, Energizing Africa, what would it take to make Africa have access to universal energy was held. And there were two big men who addressed the gathering. That includes President of the World Bank Group, Ajay Banja, and then Akiwumi Adesina, who is President of the African Development Bank Group. Both of them made bold commitments. You know that according to stakeholders, some 600 million people in Africa today do not have access to electricity. Now, both organizations have made bold initiatives saying that by 2030, the World Bank, on its part, will ensure that 250 million Africans have access to electricity. The African Development Bank, on the other hand, says that it will cater for 50 million people. And in total, that will be 300 million by 2030, Esther.
You know, Ignatius, a lot of Africans have a lot of questions on the continent, not having access to all year round electricity. Has that been addressed by the two big shots you've just mentioned, the World Bank and the African Development Bank?
Well, yes, they do concur that there have been challenges. In fact, Esther, when I spoke to Adesina, one of the questions I posed to him exclusively was, if you speak to an African today, particularly folks in South Africa, for example, in Nigeria, who've had to rely on external sources for energy and the cost that they've had to bear, they will not agree with you that progress has been made. But he said that progress has been made because in 2016, when they joined forces with other stakeholders, there was a 22% increase in energy generation within the African continent. And as I speak to you, one of the things he told me was that they are liaising with other partners. In fact, the AFDB itself is mobilizing $20 billion to undertake a project that is called Desert to Power, which will generate 10,000 megawatts of electricity via solar across the Sahelian nation. And they're hoping that this will push their efforts in making sure that Africans get out of the dark and get the economies up and moving.